Dear students, today in this video I am going to discuss about the exceptions to the law of supply. Exceptions to law of supply arise when supply of a good rises when its price falls and supply falls when price rises when other factors are held unchanged. It means that when price of a product rises, then the supply instead of rising falls, and similarly when price of a product falls, then supply instead of falling it starts rising. This itself is known to be exception to law of supply. Now basically there are two exceptions to law of supply. First one are the rare goods. We know that certain goods are rare, and because they are rare, therefore their supply is also limited. That means even when their price rise, their supply may not rise. Say for example, ancient coins, ancient idols, old books, etc. But however, because these goods do not have any current production, so it cannot be considered to be an exception to the law of supply. And some economists do believe that it should be kept out of the study of supply. Next one are perishable goods. Perishable goods, as we have already studied, are those goods which are used only once and cannot last for a long time. Say for example milk, vegetable, fruits, etc. So even if when their price falls, their supply will not contract. Why? Because they cannot be stored and they cannot be preserved, and therefore it needs to be sold. However, in the present times with the availability of cold storage facility and warehouses, now even these goods can be stored, and therefore this exception is also debatable. Talking about the next topic and one of the most important topic, that is price determination in the market. First of all, what is price determination? In simple words, if I say price determination, so it means to determine the price of a product. Price determination explains the process of determining a stable price at which goods are actually bought and sold in the market. So see, that means price determination is a process, and this is a process which determines a stable price at which these goods will be bought and sold actually in the market. So that means this determination of price itself is known to be equilibrium price level. So now what is equilibrium price level? Prices are determined by the interaction of market demand and supply, and such a price prevails in the market. See, we have already studied that market demand and market supply are the two major factors which affects the price of a product, and therefore they say that whatever is the interaction between this demand and supply, and on the basis of this interaction itself the price of a product is to be determined, and this itself is the price which will prevail in the market. And also not only this, this equilibrium price level itself is taken by the firms in order to sell their product. In order to explain this concept of price determination in the market, an imaginary schedule of demand and supply as well as a diagram based on this schedule has been given over here. As seen in the schedule, first of all, price of that commodity in rupees has been given. The second column is regarding the demand of that commodity, and the third one is about the supply of commodity. As you can see that as price rises, therefore as per law of demand, demand starts contracting, and similarly as price rises as per law of supply, supply starts expanding. So on the basis of this schedule, when a diagram is drawn, which can be seen over here, that on the x-axis demand as well as supply of a commodity has been given, and similarly on y-axis the price of that commodity has been given. By plotting these points, we may see that we get a demand curve DD as well as a supply curve SS. Now, when these demand and supply curve both because they move in an opposite direction, therefore equilibrium is attained where these two curves intersect each other, and this itself is said to be equilibrium price, which can be seen as point E in the diagram. Now, say for example, if price is raised by the industry to rupees 40, because see at point E equilibrium, it means that at price of rupees 30 this equilibrium price is obtained. It means that at this 30 rupees both demand as well as supply are same, and it is 600 units. But when this price is raised by the industry to rupees 40 from rupees 30, therefore, as per law of demand, demand contracts to 400 units, while as per law of supply, supply expands to 800 units. Now, because demand is less than supply, and therefore the market price will have a tendency to again move back to rupees 30. Similarly, from that same point E, now if price is reduced by the industry to rupees 20 from 30, so as per law of demand, demand expands to 800 units while supply contracts to 400 units. Now, because demand is greater than supply, and therefore the market price will again have a tendency to rise back to rupees 30. As per Marshall, market demand and market supply are the invisible hands of the market, and this entire process is invisible. So, with this, I complete my topic as well as this chapter. Thank you, students.